You're listening to Chugging Bleach, the only podcast where the bounce count.
Welcome to Chugging Bleach, the monthly Bleach podcast, where we go through all of Bleach. That's right, all of it. I'm your host, Bob Video Games, and with me is Anime Danime.
So we're also going through the manga?
No.
Oh, okay.
Unfortunately, unless things go really weird.
So does that mean at the end of this we have to read the books by the Monogatari guy?
Wait, what?
What?
Maybe I need to revise this. All of the animated Bleach.
Oh, okay.
We'll table this until later.
And my other host, Christopher Anime.
Christopher Anime.
Owarida.
And Dr. Aggro.
I don't even have to watch all of the anime.
You sure did cheat. We just start watching it backwards. So you have to watch the Bound Arc backwards.
Holy shit.
Oh, that would be so insufferable.
Yeah, you would get angrier as it went. It was bad enough forward.
I feel like we'd see how it started and Aggro would just start screaming.
So this is our villain. He has two dust busters for hands.
Don't get too used to that.
Oh, no.
God, yeah, everything about the Bound Arc is just changed every few episodes.
Yeah. Anyway, this week we watched through episode 35 to 39, and we will cover them. But before that, Chris, is there some way I can hear this show early?
Well, if you'd like to hear this show early, you can go to our Patreon at patreon.com/gbpodcast. For as little as $5 a month, you get early access to this show. In fact, if you're listening to this on YouTube or public RSS feeds now, you can go to our Patreon. $5 gets you the next episode waiting for you. You also get early access to our other show, Pokemon Go to the Movies, a show where we have to review every Pokemon movie. Oh boy.
Oh boy.
You also get extended content for other shows when they force us to cut things out or things just get left on the floor, and a patron exclusive show one a month where you get to vote on what good or bad thing we have to watch and then talk about. That's patreon.com/gbpodcast. And if you don't have any money, like this video right now.
Do it.
I'm waiting. John.
Yeah, come on, dude.
You think you think this is a game?
John, you've let us down before. Now's the time to really regain our trust. Like the video.
I'm outside your window, John. I'm right there. Okay, good. I'm leaving now. I have to get back to the fucking show.
Speaking of the show, what happened in these episodes? I don't remember.
Oh, boy.
Bob, are you okay? You don't remember already?
Let's start episode 135.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm looking at my notes and I'm like, oh, it did open like that. What is that?
Rangiku opens Orihime's door because someone's there, and she steps on Kone's face, and he's staring up her skirt. Then she stomps on him, and the title drops.
Bleach, everybody.
They're going somewhere, and Rangiku's chewing him out, and it's like, do they fucking know each other now? Fucking filler, man. I swear to God.
Yeah, I feel like they might have run into each other at some point in one of the Goldens during Soul Society arc, but I'm not even sure.
They see a girl drop her big stuffed animal in the river, and then she falls in and can't swim. And Kone's like, "Okay, Rangiku, get in there." But she pulls out the glove Rukia has because the writers once again forgot where Rukia got that glove, and that there's no reason for Rangiku to have this glove. And she yanks the pill out of Kone, which you do not need the glove to do, as we've established multiple times.
No, you don't.
And then she throws it into the big stuffed animal, and that's a really fucking good shot. I want to see the ending where it just hits the river and sinks.
Why does that stuffed animal have a mouth hole?
Don't worry about it. Rangiku's like, okay, save the girl. He's like, bitch, what the fuck?
Just a very fair response from Colin. Honestly, this is the most sane he's ever. Just like, hey, this makes no sense.
And she's like, oh, it was faster than me leaving my Gigai. And I'm like, why the fuck did you have to leave your Gigai? Can you not swim?
No, it's not. They show her counter Giga in like 2 episodes ago instantly.
He saves her, and the girl wakes up. He's like, "Where's Shintaro?" And that's the big stuffed animal. Rangiku ditches him and leaves him with this girl. A cop takes the girl home, and since this isn't an American cop, I'm not going to insinuate that he is a pedophile. Kone's looking around her big rich girl home. They have a giant OLED, and Kone even addresses the OLED. He's like, "Man, that's a big ass TV." He wigs out over this rich house, and she comes back, so he has to play dead. But she starts to dry him off with a hairdryer and like shoves it max strength like up his nose and burns the shit out of him, and he breaks kayfabe.
It was at this moment, I should point out, that I realized that I had somehow, somewhen, and for some reason seen this episode.
Whoa.
Because I remember thinking,
sorry.
Yeah, I like this plot better when it was a Cardcaptor Sakura episode.
That's insane.
Yes, it is.
Also, I feel like this is wrong. He's dealt with so much with Ichigo's sister, but this is what breaks him? I don't know. I don't buy it.
Ichigo's sister mostly just like puts him in dresses and does not shove something shooting 180-degree air out of it into his nose.
Into his suspiciously working mouth hole.
Fair. Okay.
He fucking starts to move, and she's like, "Wow, you can move," and starts like Elmiraing his ass and like doing the throat crushing cuddle.
Mm-hmm.
Kone manages to get away, and he's like, and we get the great line, "Man, I forgot how much I like to breathe." Kone's like, "Why aren't you surprised I can move?" And she says, in the dub, she says, "I wished every night that you'd start moving." But in the sub, she says, "I prayed to God every night that you'd start moving." Kone's like, "What's your name?" And she's like, "Well, it's Miyuki, don't you remember?" So he has to feign amnesia.
Yes. He has to do this.
There's no avoiding it.
They talk about why she's all alone. And she's like, "My parents got divorced. My mom works all the time, so I'm always alone." She's like, "So we're going to play a game." And we like hard cut to him being dressed like a baby. Like he has the fucking bonnet on. And she just starts shoving like rubber snakes and other toys down his throat.
She's been cooking it all day for him.
He coughs it all up, and she cries, so he feels bad, and then he has to actually eat all the rubber eggs.
I really like that they put the label on it. It's like, these are not real bugs and creatures.
He's getting run ragged because this girl is very obviously like desperate for attention. He tries to get her to go outside with her friends so he can have a fucking moment to relax, but she doesn't have any friends, and she doesn't need friends. And then she starts to cry, and then he like consoles her while going, "Yeah, and you're a big crybaby, huh?" And he's like, "Well, why were you outside earlier?" And she said, "Oh, I wanted to go to our old house that we lived in when my parents were still together. That we also had a real dog that looks like the stuffed dog that Kone is in now." He's like, "Well, what happened to the dog?" "It had to go with my dad when they split up." And I went, "Okay." And then immediately after they go, "And then he got hit by a car."
And then this was the moment. I go, this is great. I can just like let my vision blur and pretend I'm not even watching Bleach anymore.
That's 3 fatal car crashes in the span of like 7 episodes.
Jesus Christ. Is Japan just like even worse than America about this shit? Like how
I think it's just the only thing that the filler writers can come up with.
The head writer has some very obvious and transparent damage.
I think you're not allowed to write people getting hit by trains.
That might be true.
Is that why this is the plot for every isekai?
Mm-hmm.
That's not true, Bob. Sometimes they die stopping a mugging.
Okay, that happens once in a while.
Oh shit, no. Saga of Tiny the Evil. Train.
Oh yeah.
Train Sakai.
That's true.
My favorite genre, train sekais.
She starts crying again, and Kone like does the coning at the crying, and Kone's like, "Will your mom be mad if you left?" And she goes, "Well, don't worry, I told the cop not to tell my mom." And the cop decided not to tell her mom.
I guess that's how it works.
Then Kone says they should go to her parents' old house, and then we get there in a jump cut, and I am briefly petrified.
Mm-hmm.
that it'll be the fucking Bount Mansion. Like that they reuse that set.
That was a really good moment where they were just like, they have this illustrious place in town and it just looks like a house, and then they have the real mansion, and I just had this moment of are we just sliding into a case closed episode? I don't.
Thank God it wasn't the Bount Mansion. They find the fucking flower vase where the dog got hit by a car, and Cone senses a hollow when he touches the vase, and she also kind of senses it. Then shit just starts exploding.
Yeah, power lines start going down and perfectly box them in.
Yes.
And Cone's like, we got to go into the house. We got to get away from everything exploding. Then Cone immediately realizes, oh shit, this is the Hollow's plan. We're in trouble. Then he explains Hollows to this girl so we can cost time, so time can pass.
Mm-hmm.
Like we got to fill this time. Windows and trees and shit are exploding. Items are flying at them like a fucking poltergeist. A two-headed dog Hollow comes out of the Hollow portal, and it's like, you already know. You already know what this is.
I think it's really weird they do the poltergeist stuff, but that wasn't the Hollow. Even though every other time in Bleach, it's like, no, the poltergeist stuff only happens because people can't see the Hollow showing stuff.
Well, the filler forgot. Like, that's always the answer.
I know. It hurts.
She can kind of see the Hollow, but not really. And they're running, and Cone says he has to fight it, and he tries to fight it, and of course he can't hurt it.
Mm-hmm.
But there's like this insane shot of him doing like kung fu poses in a void of light.
Yeah, he does an axe kick. I'm under the understanding that is the coolest kind of kick you can do. It does nothing though. He's a fucking plush doll.
He gets stuck in the Hollow's mouth, and it chews on him a little and spits him out, and then stomps on him and kicks him around, and then it decides it's okay. I'm gonna eat the girl now. And then the other head attacks the first head. Then Rangiku shows up and kills it, and like instantly, it's like frame one. And then Cone basically says, "Fuck you, bitch. Why are you so late? Why are you so bad at your job?" The dog Hollow was two dogs?
One head was each dog.
Yep.
Yes, one was dog Shintaro, and the other was a Doberman explaining why it wanted to eat the baby.
I feel like there's no other point in Bleach where we find out, yeah, in fact,
all dogs go to heaven.
Yes.
All dogs go to Soul Society.
After the last episode featured them accidentally revealing to a woman the afterlife existed, this episode says dogs have souls. Christians blown the fuck out. Cone gives a speech about how she has to be strong and make friends and stand on her own, and he's leaving now, and he has friends, and blah, 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 and the cops show up, and Cone talks about how cool he is to Rangiku, and the girl is safe, and it's fucking over. It's over. It's done. Illustrated Guide to Soul Reapers.
Golden.
Rangiku is a slob and eating tons of junk food in Orihime's house.
I was cracking up so hard.
Hitsugaya cleans it up. And then Rangiku becomes a Karen about garbage separation. And Hitsugaya's like, I wish you'd fucking go back to not caring.
She really is the worst.
It's so good. She sucks so much.
And none of this is even Kubo. So it's not even like you can get mad at him like people get mad at the guy who does Naruto. It's like, no, this is all filler. It's just like, what does she do in the filler? Go shopping. Lie. Get out of work.
Abandon friends with children.
Hot chip.
All the Goldens
chip.
might be in the manga. I know a lot of them are.
I don't think all of them are.
Yeah, it's very unlikely
Some
all
are.
of them are.
Episode 136. We get a new recap. It's not really interesting. It's just like a different, it's no longer Soul Reapers.
Yeah, my brain was
It's something
fried
different now.
as they go to recap this. They're like, Aizen has stolen the Hogokyu, Aran Cars, and Ueko Mondo. My brain doesn't work anymore. I've seen so much filler. None of this makes any sense.
We open on a not real filler character just to confirm that we're not yet back in real content.
It tricked me. I thought it was back in canon shit. These fuckers. The moment they cut to that mustache butler, I went, you assholes.
You knew instantly, like, oh, that's not a real character.
No, Kubo did not design this. Go fuck yourself. Look at him.
How many evil French waiter Arankar are we gonna see before we're done?
He's like the Arankar version of the fucking. He's like the Arankar version of the snake bound.
Oh,
Yes.
I forgot about him.
Well, yeah, you did. He's a Bount.
Yeah, he's a Bount in the first arc.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, you
Yeah, the
go
arc
through
that
like
didn't count.
fucking. How many of those did you go through in the beginning? 4?
Something like that.
It's a ludicrous amount of really, guys. Really?
He went into Aizen's room to steal the Hogyoku. Ulquiorra interrupts him. Then we cut to Urahara's shop, and he's going on a trip with Tessai, his assistant. Chad is also going, I guess, for some reason. Tessai gives the kids nutritional advice. Chad's like, I don't really need a vacation. But Urahara's like, oh, but you're going to come because it's filler. And Renji's like, well, hurry back. I want to keep training. And Urahara basically says, Renji, you're insufferable. or I'm sorry, he says, Renji, you're insufferable.
You're insufferable.
God, his voice.
God, look at you. You're pathetic.
Why is that his voice?
Because it's perfect.
Oh,
The Mod Souls talk about how Urahara actually plans to use Chad as free labor. They leave, and Ginta's like, I don't know why they're bothering to get new stock. We never have any customers. And Tessai like runs back and starts shaking the shit out of him.
It's so good. Ririn is so terrified in this moment of like, oh God, he's going to kill that child.
We cut back to Hueco Mundo, and the jobber filler Arankar Patris confronts Ulquiorra. He calls Ulquiorra and the other Espada cucks because Aizen's just a Soul Reaper. Why are you doing what he's saying? He flash steps behind Ulquiorra and like, but just to pound a wall and start crying. He's like, Ulquiorra, we should team up and use the Hogyoku ourselves. And Ulquiorra's like, why are you so self-important? You're not even an Espada. You're not even one of the strong ones. What are you doing? He then has 2 other jobbers with hideous designs.
Absolutely.
Attack Ulquiorra, and they all 3 of them like, it's the opening of Dead Zone. When the 3 guys jump Piccolo.
Yes.
And meaning Ulquiorra's definitely dead. Holy shit.
Oh my God.
I thought that was going to be important.
No, apparently not.
And Patris literally says, man, that was so easy. Holy shit, I'm so strong. They take the Hogyoku, and Patris says, I'm going to become king of this world. Like, he turns into the fucking dude from DMC2 and even kind of looks like him.
True. Here's your crown.
Cut back to Urahara's shop. Renji's laying around doing nothing. Ururu says move so she can clean. Renji's like, I don't know what to do with all this free time. And Ururu's like, still in my way. Then Ginta's like, why aren't you training? And then Renji gets mad at being told what to do. And Ururu's like, still need you to move. And then Ginta's like, man, Renji, you're useless outside of fighting. And I'm like, close.
I need to re-examine this just a little, though.
We cut back to the Mod Souls, who are literally talking about how this filler arc has gone on too long. They're like, man, Ichigo's been gone so long, and nothing's happened, and all this other stupid shit has gone on. And I'm like, yes, I agree.
Yep, and the Mod Souls are on screen and talking. This is not what I signed up for.
Yeah, there's a high-pitched ringing sound, and the whole screen went red, and then it faded to black, and I woke up on the floor.
If you would like to look at the first spoilered image I put in the Chugging Bleach channel, I had a rage-fueled realization about the design of the Mod Souls.
Okay, let's see. Well, this top row, Oh no.
I kind of see Leland. I don't really see the other 2. I think they're a little bit of a reach. I see the Cactuar part of Noba. I don't really see the Mr. Mackey part though.
This is cursed. Why have you brought this into this world?
I see where the thought is coming from with these, but oh man, I don't like it. There's some sick part of my brain was like, dude, keep bringing them up. I need to see these Mod Souls more.
Leland says that she wishes Ichigo was around because she loves bullying him, and Kuroto's like, that sounds more like you have a crush on him, and they start squabbling. Then the mod souls sense spiritual pressure, and the teeth portals open, and all the jobbers appear. The Soul Reapers get warned, and everybody runs towards it, and there's like, we're gonna get Gintai Kaijo instantly this time. That's not how it fucking works.
Don't worry, we
Stop
streamlined it, so we're all good now.
Yumichika's like, I hope these ones are stronger than the last ones. I'm like, you didn't fucking fight, motherfucker. Why don't you simmer down?
Well, the last ones is in the clone thing that he fought in that filler.
Yeah, I got really mad when he said that. I was like, oh,
Don't bring up the Macaron car.
that doesn't fucking just shut up.
The jobbers sense the Soul Reapers coming, and Patras tells his two guys to go deal with the Soul Reapers. They're here to find somebody who knows how the Hogyoku works before more Iron Car come to get it back.
What a brilliant plan. We're going to steal this shit. Find a guy in a giant city that knows how to use it, so that way we can figure out how our plan works.
It's very thought out.
The jobbers and all the Soul Reapers, other than Renji, meet in a vacant lot, and once again I am forced to invoke like the name of Buttlord GT, where like almost instantly we go into the fucking oh no, we're being animated by the third string fight team.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, man. It's rough.
The red-haired guy instantly uses his resurrection and turns into like a whip monster. He looks really shitty.
Yeah.
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 I think I have a picture of that. Like he's just like that. That's not a design. You didn't do a design. Like, I'm sorry, that's nothing.
His ideal form had no hands
Or eyes.
or eyes.
I don't know which part of the bout arc this reminds me of, but it does.
It's worse than the Spider Lady. It actually is.
Yeah, it is.
Worse design than that.
It is.
Yeah.
It's worse than maybe any of the bounce. These guys are maybe worse than the bounce.
Thank God we didn't spend 40 episodes with them.
Right.
I would just walk into the ocean.
Yeah. The other guy also does, but we cut to Cone, and Cone's just walking around bored, and we again like he runs through where all the real characters are. Cone wants to find a goddess tier girl, and then Patras appears in the sky, and Patras notices and talks to him for some reason.
It was really good because Cone's just like, which direction would a goddess level lady be? I know, this one. And he points up into the sky. And that's when Patras appears where he pointed, and he's like, you.
Yeah, no, this is the best part of this episode.
It is. As Cone just shits his pants and we cut away.
We hard cut back to Hitsugaya fighting the red hair Iron Car, and everybody is moving very, very slowly and not actually using their powers because this is a filler fight. The other guy's release is even like a shitty rehash of the guy Ikaku fought, and Ikaku is fighting him again, and even telling Yumichika not to get involved.
I'm starting to feel punished for my optimism about escaping filler.
Right?
Meanwhile, Renji's broke ass is running on foot to the fight. Like, he's not using flash step, he's not flying. He's like, I don't have any bus fare, and he's just running.
He's all tuckered out.
He finds Cone beat up on a telephone pole. Cone explains it was an Iron Car and points towards Urahara's shop. Patras appears outside it, and I'm like, oh, please let him die real quick. Ginta and Aruru warn him with the bat and the missile launcher. The mod souls go to get their bodies because they want to help. That's so cute. I hope they fucking die. Patras wants to know where Urahara is. And then Renji shows up, and Renji's like, he's not here, asshole, go away. And Patras is like, well, I'll simply wait. And then Patras is like, well, I hate being bored, so we'll fight. Renji immediately almost kills the kids with a clumsy swing of fucking Zabimaru. He like swings it past him and misses and almost it hits the shop. And then they start fighting in the sky, and they really want to pretend this dude is strong. Renji says Patra can't destroy the shop if Renji kills him first. I'm like, dude, you're the only one who's damaged the shop as of right now. Ginta's like, Aruru, you stay here and don't go sicko mode. I'll go help Renji. Then the mod souls show up and they're like, we're gonna help Renji. So we're getting filler rehash of the filler content.
Nope.
Great.
I'll tell you what, though. The first time they showed up, I was so confused at who the fuck any of these people were that I didn't notice that like Bird Girl's shawl thing is actually really cool looking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a shame she's not canon.
As I said during the bout arc, The only one of these characters that I would be okay like actually existing is Leland.
Uh-huh.
Because at least in the Bound arc, she also has like scenes where she plays off Cone. Patras and Renji both go Super Saiyan and kind of smack at each other. Patras uses his sword and instantly obliterates Renji and leaves him in a coughing crater in the ground. And then he says, I have 20 different power levels. That was only power level 1. And then he hits Renji again, drives him further into the ground, but he gets saved by the Mod Souls again. His stock is in fucking shambles.
Yeah, this is real bad.
They hit him with a bunch of illusions and a bunch of shit starts happening. Kuroto and Renji attack simultaneously, but it doesn't work and we get some really badly edited shots. Noba has some fucking weird shield he can block with that he's never had before.
They need to give him new powers because he's going to continue to be important, right?
Renji attacks again and is acting cocky, even though he's really been getting rinsed this whole episode. Patras uses his level 2 generic beam slash on Renji, and we cut to the crater where Ulquiorra and Yami appeared, and then Ulquiorra appears, and then the episode ends. Illustrated Guide to Soul Reapers. Hurry up. Hiyori, Hirako, and Ichigo are shopping. A hollow that looks like a drunken salaryman attacks. Ichigo wants to fight it, but Hirako's like, your friends and family can see Soul Reapers, so wear this cat-made mask. And he says thanks and starts to run, but then gets mad and throws it down, and Hiyori's like, he's gotten really good at being the straight man. Episode 137, Aizen walks up on Ulquiorra's corpse. It was one of his illusion and shatters, then he sits in his chair. Gin appears and is like, man, you sure fucking made this complicated for no reason. And Aizen goes, yeah.
Gin is the best character.
Yeah, no, it's really good. He's like, man, Aizen, you're so roundabout. You should have just had Ulquiorra kill them immediately. And Aizen's like, whatever. That would be boring. I can kill them. That would also be boring.
We cut back to Urahara's shop. And it's half demolished and also several hours passed.
God. That's how tough the fight's been.
Yeah.
And Patras is just standing out there with his arms folded. Like, he didn't even go in for the kill on Renji. He just like, no, I beat him. He can't hurt me. I don't even need to kill him. Ururu is shooting him with the missiles, but they just bounce off. And Ginta tries to hit him, but they just bounce off. And he's waiting for Urahara. And Renji crawls out of the debris and is like, this time I'll own you for sure. He's like, Ururu, Ginta, I probably won't actually own him this time. Go get Urahara. Patras is like, okay, I guess I'll just kill you and go to level 3. And Renji says, okay, I'm sick of this. Gentai Kaijo Bankai. So he should now realistically be rinsing this dude.
So why did it take like an hour plus for Gentai Kaijo to kick in?
I don't know.
I think Renji was just unconscious.
I guess.
Under the rubble. He swings his Bankai and plows through Patras's blade beam and starts having the big snake nom on him, and it drives him through the shop into the basement dimension. I didn't think that's how that worked.
It shouldn't be.
Apparently it is how it works now. See, they did a transition and now they're here.
We cut back to the other Soul Reapers who are still struggling with the other jobbers.
For some reason.
The red-haired jobber is even like, man, it makes no sense you'd have trouble with me after you killed the other ones. He's just kind of flailing and knocking Hitsugaya and Ragiku around. Like, this is Dragon Ball movie shit. Like, Ikaku and the other guy are just kind of bonking on each other. And then the big guy's like, I can turn into a big ball and roll at you? And Yumachika even says it with that tone I just used, where he's like, he turns into a big ball and rolls at you? And then Ikaku's like, okay, I'm bored now, and starts smashing through the guy's armor. Back to Renji. Patras is coping and seething at how he's getting rinsed by fucking Renji. And he's like, I'm not owned. Defile Harifalute. And he becomes like a big shitty mass of garbage. I don't even know what it's supposed to be.
It's real Frieza third form kind of shit.
I compared it to like a really poorly made armor core.
It's like these dudes suck. Like the mock Arrancar's design was better.
Yeah. Wow. That's rough.
The Mod Souls wake up and are like, man, that's a good nap, and go down to the basement. And Patras shoots energy balls and like starts smacking Renji's Bankai around and says he's going to shoot a big beam and own him. And then we cut to Ginta and Iruru, and they found Urahara, and he's hanging out in the park.
Yeah, I don't.
And they find Ulquiorra staring at the crater, but before anything can happen there, we cut back to the fight. Renji had to use his Bankai to block the big beam. The mod souls watch and like soy face at it and do the YouTube thumbnail point.
Mm-hmm.
Renji asks what he wanted to do with the Hogyoku, and he's like, rule the world. The two jobbers got defeated off camera and got to the basement so they could cope and cry and piss and shit and then die right in front of Patras.
I was absolutely convinced that this was like an illusion by the mod souls until the episode ended. It's like, that doesn't make any sense.
The red-haired one is even like, wait, we were getting killed by the Soul Reapers and you were wasting all this time fighting Renji? And then he freezes and shatters. The other guy also shows up and is like, this plan sucked, and falls down. Patras is like, oh man, my plan sucked, so I at least have to kill Renji. I at least have to do that. They slam the beam, like they slam beams into each other, and Renji's Bankai gets blown away, and Patras is like, I have slightly more respect for Soul Reapers now, but I'll kill you. The mod souls do their shtick again, except this time it's actually sort of working. They use a bunch of Renji clones and illusions and teleports to like scam Patras and confuse him, and they get Renji away, and they say, Renji, we're gonna all go get killed so you can hit him with a big tack. With it, we have to do this. We're mod souls that were designed for battle, and I'm like, no, you're not. You're mod souls that were designed by Urahara to be bout detectors. We had 45 episodes about this. I understand that in most of those episodes you could not detect bounce because of the fucking phase of the moon or whatever, but you can't just make up a new thing about what your origins are.
Look, they really need something because there are no bounce in the universe anymore.
Oh, God.
They're going to start selling real estate next time.
They taunt him and try the illusion thing again, but he has the secret weapon, an AoE attack. And then Kuroto grabs his weird claw, and I guess this is supposed to be him doing like quick draw sword moves.
Yeah.
And he can't attack if he can't resheath his sword. Yeah. But that isn't how this fucking monster form looks at all.
No.
Yeah, his arms are some weird messed up like sword cease thing, I guess is what they were going for, but
it's like a mantis claw almost, but like it folds in a really weird way.
Yeah, so he's still got to put it back in and then flick it out.
He's got to sheath it into his hole, and if he doesn't plug his hole, he can't unleash his
and like because of the way it looks when he's in monster form, like he got in between the blade and the sheath part, and I'm like, why are you not in two pieces right now?
Kuroto's really strong, actually.
I'll clog it up with my blood.
Yes.
he tries to blast Kuroto with some other bullshit, but Noba uses the weird shield again. Renji's like, I'm done, and does the big energy ball that comes out of the snake's mouth and fucking annihilates him. Then Urahara shows up and he's like, wow, good job, everyone. And then all the other Soul Reapers show up. Urahara explains Aizen was just fucking around and let them steal a fake Hogyoku. This whole episode was a 2-episode filler arc, was just Aizen taking an edible and having fun. Urahara even says, I guess we'll never have an explanation for why he did that. And then we flash back to Ulquiorra immediately leaving the park after meeting everybody. They try to imply that this was all a distraction so Ulquiorra could
touch dirt.
Analyze the residue of Orahime's powers. It's really fucking dumb.
Sounds so gross when you say it like that.
I like how now we've had 2 episodes almost in a row about analyzing the residue in that one location.
Look, there's a lot of residue.
It's so residual.
This is important science, goo.
Illustrated Guide to Soul Reapers, not golden.
Not golden.
Ichigo wearing the mask bonks the hollow. Karin recognizes him anyway, and he starts meowing, but it doesn't work. She pulls off the mask, and underneath it is his hollow mask, and she's like, oh, maybe I'm mistaken. And that's the joke.
I hope this is canon.
Episode 138. We don't have a recap. Yami and Ulquiorra are walking towards Aizen's big door. Aizen is waiting with a bunch of the others, and they say the Hogyoku is 50% awoken. But then Aizen says the Hogyoku has a secret nobody knows. If you pump a bunch of energy into it, it wakes up to make for a moment.
Yeah.
I think Aizen specifically says, if you pump spiritual pressure equivalent to twice that of a captain into it, it briefly wakes up.
Yeah. And he even says for a brief time, the Hogyoku will unleash its full power like when it's fully awakened.
It's so weird to be like, there isn't a set number for a captain's strength, I didn't think, but okay.
Maybe he meant average.
Kuba must have really sucked to play with on the playground when he was a kid. Because he's that guy that just starts making shit up in the middle of the game.
He uses this to create another Arncar. It's a dweeby little blonde freak with freckles named Wonder Weiss Margera.
Yeah, he's Bam Margera's brother.
He says, "Well, Kiora, you've got a job. I'll give you full control of who goes, too." And Aizen's like, "Hey, Grimjow, do you want to go?" We cut back to the Vizards and Ichigo. Hiyori's pummeling Ichigo. Love is reading Fist of the North Star and talking about how cool Kenshiro is. He literally has an extended bit where he talks about Kenshiro's catchphrase. Hiyori goes on a rant to Ichigo. He's like, "Stop letting me kill you so much. Oh, I get it. You think since Soul Reapers are already dead, they can die as many times as they want. Well, that's not how it works, you dipshit." Kensei calls everybody to dinner. That's the dude with the combat knife. Hirako asks him how things are going, and Ichigo has barely cleared 10 seconds. Lisa scolds him, and he tells her to fuck off. Then she brings up the fact she lent him porn, and Ichigo says, "No, you didn't." Then Love says, "It's fine, bro. I borrow it twice a day. You don't have to be ashamed." And then Lisa's like, "Well, I use it all the time, so you really don't have to be ashamed." And they squabble about it for a while. Meanwhile, Hirako is internally like, "We gotta fucking get moving. This isn't going good."
This bit has to end, please.
We cut to Soul Society and Captain Ukitake, and he's enjoying some tea. Shuhei shows up. Ukitake is watching Orihime and Rukia training. Wait, Orihime going to Soul Society was real?
Right.
I assumed that was just filler nonsense. Ukitake flashes back to Rukia asking to use the training ground. Ukitake's simps bring Orihime out and do the simp bit. Rukia gives Orihime a pep talk since she's still insecure, and we cut back to the present. Ukitake talks about how he's glad Rukia has a friend she can, rely on now and so motivated by her, and Shuhei is briefly racist.
Yeah, that was surprising.
It's like, "She's a human." I'm like, "So are you?"
Not anymore.
Now I'm evolved past that. Have you not seen the 69?
Ukitake's like, "Well, it doesn't matter. Just let it go." Rukia is shooting Hado at Orihime and she's blocking them. Rukia's like, "You can't hesitate, Orihime." And then they keep doing it for a little while. Ukitake asks why Shuhei is here, and then he gives Ukitake a mail order catalog?
It's great.
Well, there's a catalog in it. It's a bulletin.
And then Shuhei is like, "Oh, I didn't know captains had so much work they have to do. I'm busy. I'm gonna go." And then he leaves. And Ukitake internally monologues that they have no time. It's like, we have hardly any time for anybody to get ready for this fucking war.
Yeah.
Then we cut to Yumachika. He's hitting his sword. He's hitting a rock with his sword and screaming for it to break.
Real quick, as he's thinking about the things that have happened, he's like, "Well, recently," and then he thinks about shit that I swear to God has not happened in over 2 full episodes of Chugging Bleach. And I just went, "God, what have I been watching?" Oh my God.
They don't even bother sending reports about all that stuff that happened in those fillers. I'm sorry.
They literally, any one character has escaped the filler, and so when they reflect on what reality has been recently, you're just missing large patches of time.
Yeah. Yumachika is hitting his sword with a rock and screaming at it for it to break. Rangiku hits him with an eraser. Yumachika is having an argument with his sword and is like, "I can't deal with this guy. He's narcissistic and self-absorbed and obsessed with his own appearance." And Rangiku's like, "Well, you guys must be exactly alike. Unlike me and my sword is slobby, lazy, difficult, and useless." And Yumachika says they're also alike, and they start squabbling. And Ikaku is meditating and hits a guy who's kind of watching nearby, and he senses something that he maybe, but doesn't elaborate on it. Teeth portals. Teeth portal time, everybody. Everybody instantly realizes that the teeth portals, because this is real content and characters are competent again.
Right?
Grimjow, Yami, and 2 others are there. One of them is Wonder Weiss. The third one, the last one is one we don't know the name of yet. They babble a little bit. Grimjow is upset that Ichigo isn't there and fucks off to find him. He's apparently not in Espada anymore. He got demoted because he got his arm cut off. Yami then says his target isn't there either, and the new guy says, "Which one? The guy who cut your arm off? The guy who effortlessly deflected your attack? Or the lady who beat the snot out of you, cuck?"
They really need to hurry up and kill Yami. This is getting to be a bit much.
R&D finds tons of targets on the radar, hits a guy, it engages Yami, and they talk about Espada a little bit. Ikaku and Yumachika engage the new one, Loopy. He's the new number 6. Rangiku is with Wonderweiss, who's like a dumb child looking at a fucking butterfly. Ichigo wants to go, but everybody's holding him down. Hiraku's like, just let him go. Like, he's too dumb for anything else to work. Just let him go. Rukia and Ukitake and Soul Society get reports and start to move. Orihime isn't allowed to go yet. They have to make some kind of weird adjustments to the Senkaimon gate before she can go. Ichigo meets with Grimmjow and they both beat their chests at each other a little bit like apes. Ichigo immediately Bankais. Grimmjow's like, why are you even bothering? Your Bankai didn't do shit before. And Ichigo's like, well, what happened to your arm? And then Grim just says, I got rid of it because I only need one arm to beat the shit out of you.
That is the most blatant lie. I love it.
But like, yeah, and that's like he's lined covered up, and it's a big tough guy line. But from Ichigo's perspective, who we must remember is an idiot, that is a horrifying threat. This guy cut his own arm off because he doesn't need it to kill me. Oh shit.
Ichigo says he can stay hollow-fied for 11 seconds, so he'll have to win in that amount of time. Chad wants to go but can't because he's too tired. Renji's like, well, I'm gonna go, and then Urahara says, no, you're also too tired. I'll go because you're both too sleepy.
He's all like, leave Jiren to me.
Illustrated Guide to Soul Reapers.
Not
busy,
golden.
busy. Shuhei's busy with the magazine. Rangiku doesn't have her article done. Nanao brings her article. Shuhei praises her for always being on time. Rin shows up and announces the Arnkar are attacking, and Shuhei wants to write a magazine article about it. That's it. That's that joke.
I still feel like this is more characterization than we get for Shuhei anywhere else in the series.
Now,
Yeah, kinda.
in an earlier episode of Chugging Bleach, Chris said, I'm not going to mention it if an episode starts with 3 minutes of recap from here on
No,
out.
well, Dan. Dan. This doesn't, episode 139, this is not 3 minutes of recap.
It's true.
This is 4
4
minutes
minutes.
and 37 seconds.
Yep.
Which is 22.136% of this episode's runtime.
Yes.
Ichigo puts on the fucking mask.
After Soul Reapers. We finally get to that.
And then 11 seconds pass.
Grimmjow's like, huh? And Ichigo's like, not explaining, and immediately, like, he gets up in his face and point blank Getsuga's Grimmjow. Meanwhile, Hitsugaya freezes Yami, but Yami just breaks out and says, was that your attack? It was so cool and refreshing. Yumachika gets smacked away, and Loopy's like, are you fucking stupid or something? Hey, bald guy, tell your friend that both of you need to fight me at once. And Ikaku's like, I'm also dumb. Loopy's like, fuck this, I'm gonna fight all of them at once, and he gets ready to use his resurrection. Hits a guy Bankais to stop him, but Loopy can release first and says, strangle Trepadora, and hits a guy with like a big bone tendril. Hits a guy talks shit because he blocked it, and then Loopy's like, oh, you did so well blocking it. Could you block it if it was 8 times stronger? And then reveals he has 8 of these fucking weird tentacles. And just hits a guy with all of them and knocks him out of the sky. Haruki gets to the human world and meets Renji and the mod souls. Haruki gets upset, but Renji's like, don't worry, Urahara went to it. We get a flashback to the last episode, and I'm like, guys, you could have done a couple more filler episodes. I could have taken it.
25 seconds. This flashback is 25 seconds.
We cut back to Grimmjow and Ichigo. Grimmjow is fucking drenched in blood from that point blank shot. Ichigo is standing there being smug, and Grimmjow is like, how the fuck did you get this much stronger in a month? And now Ichigo says nothing, throws another shot at him, teleports behind him and does a third, and pincers him between the Getsugas. And like, there's a big explosion and it blasts him out of the sky. Grimmjow throws a Sero at him, but Ichigo deflects it, and then they start fighting a little bit. Ichigo gets real smug and overpowers him, but then his tank runs out like right before he gets the finishing swing. Like, he just runs out of steam. Grimmjow immediately rallies and cuts Ichigo and starts beating on him. Loopy, meanwhile, is just spinning his tentacles around and owning the shit out of everybody. And Loopy's like, really? I'm just spinning. You guys are just... Really? Come on, bro. Yami is just standing there looking stupid. Wonderweiss is playing with a bug, and he catches it and I think eats it because he's fucking weird.
If he ate it, if it was off screen because I was waiting for it. I was like, is he going to do it? Is he going to do it?
All 3 Soul Reapers are caught by the tentacles. He then sex creeps on Rangiku, but don't worry, it's only in the murderer way.
Which makes it okay.
And then he like holds one of his tentacles in front of her, and it like sprouts a million spikes. Then Urahara shows up and severs his tentacle. In Soul Society, they're like, okay, Orihime, you can go through now. We're going to send these 2 generic guys to go with you. I'm like, oh man, you 2 are fucked. Oh, it's over for you guys.
Yeah, I spent this moment just being like, maybe they should have shown any of the training before they stuffed us full of 10 episodes of fillers. So that way I could have felt like, oh yeah, that's where she's been. She's been training this whole time. She's going to come back. And it's like, no, they're all marked for death. This,
Yeah, oh no, if only we'd been training instead of playing soccer.
It feels like they could have done filler in the Soul Society with her, and that would have been easy.
it would have been. It would have been like shake and bake.
Yeah. Ulquiorra opens a portal in the Dangai path and confronts Orihime. We cut back to Urahara talking to Lupi. Wonder Weiss attacks and gets deflected, and Urahara's like, this guy's weird. And then Wonder Weiss makes like an explosion. The 2 jobbers like move to guard Orihime, and she's like, please no. Even I can tell what's going to happen here.
You guys suck more than me by a lot.
Like, they don't let you wear red shirts in this outfit, but
Ulquiorra basically flicks his wrist, and one of them just turns like half into mulch. Orihime immediately starts trying to heal him. Then the other one also gets turned into mulch, and Orihime's trying to heal them both. Ulquiorra is impressed with her healing ability, and then he has this really long speech where he's like, you're going to come with me. Any argument means I'll kill your friends. You have no rights and aren't allowed to talk. The only thing you have is a rope in your hands, keeping the blade of the guillotine above the heads of your friends. All I want to hear from you is yes. This isn't a negotiation, it's an order. And the episode ends. And since it would be toned demolishing for an illustrated guide to Soul Reapers, we get the Arrancar Encyclopedia. If an Arrancar is stronger than an Espada, they switch ranks. I don't understand why Lupi became 6 instantly, considering he doesn't seem to have been 7 before. But I don't fucking know how this works.
Look, the 6th position opened up. They're not going to change all the positions around, fix that.
That's so much work.
Lupi drew a funny picture of himself, and Gin says, well, all the other Espada hate him, but I think we'll get along great. And Lupi says, I also hate you.
And that's all of the episodes, man. We're back in real content, kind of.
it's pretty great.
What's wrong, Dan? Is there some... Okay, I get it. I know, there's still...
I'm really worried that like every episode from here on out is going to have that 4.5 minutes of bullshit.
Yeah, that as soon as I saw that, I flashed back to some One Piece filler where they would always start with that. Yeah, that might be what we have to deal with. But anyway, let's get to our segments. Okay, first off, best dressed. I'm gonna jump in, take the first round because I feel like cheating.
Oh, okay.
What's the guy with the combat knife named again? Kensei, is that right?
Yeah.
Kensei.
Okay. Kensei in his apron that he has when he was serving them food. It was good. I liked it.
Oh, it was the good outfit. Okay, got it.
Well, it's his normal outfit, but he's wearing an apron on top.
Oh, okay. Transformative, actually.
Actually, yes.
That's what's up.
Dr. Aggro?
I'm going to go with like Rangiku has had kind of a standard outfit for the filler, and you know, it really hasn't done much. But man, when she inexplicably slid on that glove, the whole thing just came together.
Jesus Christ.
Just a whole new caliber. She looked like a lot of girls I went to high school with. Just hanging out in that mismatched bright red, dirty as shit glove.
Dan?
I'm going to give it a loopy. You got the side cuts of the outfit and the long sleeves. I'm a total slut for outfits that have super long sleeves. Always a good look. You can have your arms just flop around, and it's really good. It shows off the idling energy of any character really well. Big fan.
And Chris?
I'm gonna give it to Kon and the Shintaro doll just because it different look. It's kind of bigger. It's fine. It's cool. I like it. I'm totally not trying not to drown.
I have some backups here of Thunder Vice Margera. He's got a purple sword. That's cool.
Man, none of us chose those three holos or like ARN cards that showed up before the real content. What's up with that? We had three other holo designs.
That is strange. Why didn't anyone choose Petrus?
Or the other two, who I don't believe say their names at any point, because I would have written them down.
I sat there the whole time going, say their fucking names.
We can't even commit that much to the design.
That's so sad.
I'm also sorry, we're at the end of the episode already. I said that character's name wrong every single time. It is Petros.
Is it?
Not Petros.
Is it?
I thought it was...
That is what the Bleach Wiki says.
I don't trust the Bleach Wiki on this because I also wrote Patras as in P-A-T-R-A-S.
They could have pronounced it wrong every single time also.
Yeah, I was just reading the subtitles and wrote it down from that.
Same. I don't know. Either way, he's gone.
The other two are apparently named Minas and Aldegor.
Well, it's a good thing they didn't say those names. They suck.
They do. All right, we got to proceed with these segments. Let's see. Oh, man. Was this his plan? Do you think Jinkaria planned any of this, Dr. Aggro?
No, this was 100% Eisen's plan, maybe.
Yeah, he was on screen making that plan, unless Jinkaria had something to do with the dogs. Chris, what do you think?
No, hang on. I'm sorry. Which dogs?
The ones from episode 1 of this set.
Do you think Jinkaria killed that girl's dog?
Yes.
If you asked me,
anything is possible.
if you asked me, do I think Jinkaria kills dogs for fun? I would say absolutely.
Oh my god!
I could imagine him cruising around Tokyo in a Lamborghini and running over a girl's dog.
I didn't know this was his plan.
There's someone with him, and she's just like, "Man, Gene, was this really your plan?" And he's like, "Yes, it will all work out eventually." She's like, "You sure you're not just drunk?" And he's like, "Shut up, bitch."
Yusuke Urameshi just makes a judgment call at the last second and watches it happen.
So, Chris, do you think that he wanted to run over that dog?
I think everything in the filler episodes was a plan. I think he killed that girl's dog. He may have been her father. We don't actually see her father. We just see like a vague blob where he would be. And I definitely think the jobber Arn car was somehow Jinkaria's plan.
I'll send this one holo to infiltrate the ranks of the Arn car.
He's mixing in secret bounce to make the Harn car look less cool.
Oh my god!
Dan, what's your perspective here?
Faced with the presence of irrefutable evidence, I have to confront this and say, yes, this is Jinkaria's plan.
That bastard.
I'm afraid I have to agree with you. Killing 2 random dogs seems right up there with what Jinkaria would do. Now, Dan, on a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you to continue watching Bleach?
2, I'm convinced the next episode starts, everyone goes limp and just walks home. That's how little I trust anything anymore. I have no faith. It has broken me.
That's a completely fair response.
I can't, because if I begin to hope, we will continue showing new things, it will hurt me. So I must live convinced that the moment the next set of episodes starts, your new Blu-ray set arrives, you pop in that first disc, they all just kind of go limp, get hazy-eyed, and walk home.
And there's 15 more episodes of filler.
Yes, Ichigo just turns and looks at the camera and is like, I wonder what the Karakura superheroes are doing right now.
Wonder how Kari's soccer game's going.
It's like 15 episodes of Tatsuki and I'm just in fucking heaven.
One day, they'll be brave enough.
Man, they don't even like focus on the right shit in filler.
No, God, no.
All right. Chris, did you bring any insane trivia for this week?
Sure. The origin of Cone comes from the author Kubo seeing a young boy throw a cheap stuffed animal in the garbage because his dad wouldn't buy him a more expensive toy. And that was the inspiration for this entire substitute soul thing that was chosen, that was, doomed to be destroyed. That's where Kubo got the idea. Is that true, or did I make it up? Aggro, you go first.
I mean, I don't know if it's objectively true, but if you're asking me if I believe that Kubo said that, yes. Yes, I would believe that.
Dan.
I believe.
Bob.
I feel like it's too coherent. I'm going to say no.
It is actually true. That is where he says he got the idea for Cone from. And then Yakuza 0 later did this story as a thing that you can watch, except it's a child wanting something from a sex toy shop because he doesn't understand what that is.
It's true as Yakuza.
I think it was actually Yakuza 3.
All right, we made it through all the segments. Now we just need to rate this on our patented pending tightness scale. Goes from 0 to 25. Dr. Aggro, how tight was this?
Like this is that moment on a roller coaster where you hit the bottom of the dip and you're rocketing back up out of filler. I'm going to give this a 17. Hope.
All right. Chris?
Yeah, that's where I'm at. We should hopefully be out of filler for at least a couple episodes, Chugging Bleach. At least two full ones, please. At least 4 if I'm good, please.
I guess I'll go next. Let's see. I'll give it a 16 because it was better than last time because of the new content, but that filler that was here was really bad. It was not. There wasn't one episode of good filler here to try and help.
Yeah.
And then there is the fear that we'll just dive right back in. Dan?
I'm feeling my bones start to liquefy. I'm buckling under the weight of this much filler. I can't even have faith that this will continue in a logical and linear manner from here. And it will probably start with 4.5 minutes of recap. I'm giving this a 9. It has broken me.
That's really unfortunate.
I hope the next set of episodes can really bring me back and be like, no, it's okay. We promise we won't end that 2-parter with, "Orange, you glad I didn't say banana?"
I'm trying to think of how we cut right back into filler from this. And it just, Ichigo looks at the camera and goes, I wonder what's under Kakashi Sensei's mask.
You never know with Studio Pierrot filler.
That's true. They're
too dangerous.
They're very powerful.
They're so crafty. They always seem to get what they want.
No, Urahara is gonna confront Wunderweiss more and be like, "You remind me of a customer I had once." And then we're just gonna cut to some terrible filler.
Why isn't your Zanpakuto a katana? Is it because you're white? That's weird, man.
That's pretty weird.
And that's it for Chugging Bleach. Come back next month for more Bleach to chug.
So we're the #1 source of Bleach to chug on the YouTube?
Unfortunately, yes.
Due to FDA regulations.
The executive producers for this month on GigaBoots are Esme, Ely Broyles, Spaceman Spiff, Red Blade 27, Brendan O'Sullivan, The Plan, Cooper Tank, Very Best Plot, Iconic Bane, and